Hey, movie lovers, this is Leo.
Mike.
And Kevin from Films and Fermentation.
If you love comedy, movies, and a good drink in hand, then you need to check out the Pod Nation Media Network.
It's home to a variety of amazing podcasts covering everything from pulp culture to history and, of course, movies like ours.
And the best part, Pod Nation Media Network is featured on Roku, so you can stream your favorite podcasts anytime.
Alongside Films and Fermentation, you'll find other fantastic shows like the KJ&A podcast, The Undiscovered Entrepreneur, Real Sharks, and so many more.
So grab a drink, press play, and join the fun with Pod Nation Media Network.
Because everything's better with a little comedy, movies, and booze.
Learn more by going to linktree.com/podnationpods.
Films and fermentation, movies and inebriation. Films and fermentation, comedy mixed with tasty libations.
Films and Fermentation with Leo, Kevin, and Mike. Films and Fermentation, comedy mixed with tasty libations.
We went to polka.
I asked it for a Muppets theme song, and that's what I got. So if you're used to hearing the rock song we normally play at the beginning of the show, I'm going to play that at the end just in case you need your rock fix. That was our Muppets themed quote unquote.
I think I may have to get to hear that because I may need that fixed now.
So that was our Muppet theme quote unquote music for tonight, because tonight we're doing a very special recasting episode. We are going to be recasting election-based movies or campaign-based movies using Muppets. Yay! Yay!
Yay! Yay! Yay!
And that's why we have our special guest tonight, Salacious B. Crumb from Return of the Jedi. Say hello. Hi. Once again, welcome to Films and Fermentation, Movie and Alcohol Podcast, the #1 beer podcast on Good Pods. I'm Leo.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mike.
We're three friends who like to talk shit about movies while getting shit-faced. It's election season at Films and Fermentation, and democracy has never been this fuzzy. This week, we're recasting our favorite political movies, from The American President to Napoleon Dynamite, entirely with Muppets. Kermit's running for office, Miss Piggy's demanding equal screen time, and Gonzo's foreign policy involves chickens. We're mixing politics, puppets, and pints for one chaotic campaign trail of laughs. So grab your ballot and your beer. It's time to elect this Muppetastic administration in Hollywood history. Whew, that was a lot. Don't forget to drop us an email at filmsandfermentation@gmail.com or visit linktree.com/filmsandfermentation to find all of our social media podcast links. You can watch us on the Pod Nation Media Network on Roku, on Rumble, and on YouTube, or follow us on Substack for our newsletter. We are an independent podcast, which means we are listener supported. So please consider joining our Patreon for as little as $1 a month to receive members only content. For only $1, Mike will recite the Bill Pullman monologue from Independence Day.
We will not go quietly into the night.
No. We got to get paid first.
I have to give
Go to Patreon. Go to patreon.com/films and fermentation or buy our merchandise at teespring.com. You can now text us at 904-867-4466. What are we drinking tonight, gentlemen?
Well, last week I didn't get around to having my second beer from Double Nickel. And you wanted to know how it tastes, so I feel tonight's a good opportunity to share that with you. This is called The Hallway. It is a brown ale brewed with pumpkin spice and Madagascan
Bless you.
vanilla beans.
My.
Oh,
I might be allergic to
excuse me.
vanilla beans.
Yes.
Even
It's
Molly's
6.8% alcohol by volume, and I'm looking forward to enjoying it with you tonight.
Sounds good. Mike, what are you drinking?
Well, like I said, it's been chaotic this week for me, so I just went to the fridge and grabbed what we had, and I have a Cayman Jack watermelon margarita.
Okay. I asked ChatGPT to give me a political campaign cocktail. And so it gave me this one. It's bourbon, maple syrup, and orange bitters. And it is called The Founding Father. Right here. Using some Bird Gang bourbon for it.
Okay.
It is
Was it-
sweet and strong and full of moral compromise. All right, let's see.
It's the drink we had Sunday night.
Was it as good as the drink we had Sunday night? Which one?
The Four
that
Roses.
old fashioned or whatever it was.
Yeah, whatever it was. It was
I think it was old fashioned. I don't remember. It was good. Whatever it was.
apple cider in it. That one.
Yeah, it had apple cider in it. That one was good. That one was good. And then I had a little bit of that espresso martini thing because Katie got it for dessert. My wife got an espresso martini for dessert. And that was pretty good too. All right, let's play a song.
This week in film history with Mike. This week in film history with Mike.
Surprised that wasn't Muppified.
I didn't have time to Muppify everything tonight.
1938, a radio broadcast of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, narrated by Orson Welles, allegedly caused mass panic.
Go ahead, Kev. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, here in the great state of New Jersey.
Yes, it was in New Jersey, parts of PA. I had a copy of the radio broadcast on CD, the entire broadcast. And it was cool to listen to because it was played as though it was like a musical program, and they kept interspersing these like news reports and stuff. And you can see, like, if you turned in late to it, you can see how it sounded like a real report. Although they did throughout the program put in disclaimers saying this is just a radio show. But it was cool. I used to every year on Mischief Night, I would play it for my students and like tell them the history of the event and stuff like that. It was kind of cool. And it led to one of my favorite movies of all time, War of the Worlds, the 1953 version, not the terrible one with Tom Cruise.
1939, Warner Brothers releases the gangster film The Roaring Twenties, directed by Raoul Walsh, starring James Cagney and Humphrey Bogart.
Can't say I've seen this.
Okay,
Neither have I.
moving on.
Yeah.
1940, One Night in the Tropics, the film debut of the comedians Abbott and Costello, premieres in Paterson, New Jersey.
Hey, look at that. Not one of the Abbott and Costellos I've seen. We're on a losing streak right now, Mike.
Okay, how about this one? 1941, How Green Was My Valley, based on the novel by Richard Llewellyn, directed by John Ford, starring Walter Pidgeon and Maureen O'Hara, premieres in New York, Best Picture, 1942.
It's also the first Best Director Oscar for John Ford.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember this one was like controversial. I don't remember what. Oh, he beat out Citizen Kane that year. So next one, sir.
1955, Rebel Without a Cause, directed by Nicholas Ray, starring James Dean and Natalie Wood, is released.
Of the three movies James Dean made, the only one he wasn't nominated for.
And probably the most famous one he has.
I think it's the only one that was released before his death, too.
1967, Cool Hand Luke, a prison film starring Paul Newman, George Kennedy, and Smother Martin, is released. What we have here is a failure to communicate.
Salacious.
Just
was
the one where he eats like 24 hard-boiled eggs or something.
Yes. Yeah, it's a
Ugh.
hard-boiled egg. Yeah.
Ugh.
What we got here is failure to communicate. So you get what we had here last week, which is the way he wants it. Well, he gets it. And I don't like it any more than you do. I only know that speech because they do it in this Guns N' Roses song, Civil War. I've seen the movie, but that's not why I memorized the speech.
This one's all for Kevin.
All right.
1995 dramatic film Leaving Las Vegas, directed by Mike Phelps, and starring Nicolas Cage, Oscar for Best Director,
Actor.
Best Actor, and Elizabeth Shue, who looked hot in that movie. Premieres.
Yeah, Elizabeth Shue, the prostitute.
Elizabeth Shue just looks hot.
Yeah, I love Elizabeth Shue regardless.
It's tough for you to put her into a role where she doesn't look attractive.
She looks good in The Boys, and she's well into her 50s at that point.
Yeah.
She looks great. I like this movie. It is one of Cage's better performances. It was a weak year at the Oscar for actors, so it's kind of like it was an easy win for him that year.
Yeah.
But it's still a pretty good. And she was nominated as well. She probably should have won. She was really good in that film. Oh, next one won Oscars too.
1997, directed by James Cameron, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, premieres in Tokyo International Film Festival, Academy Award Best Picture 1998. There was definitely
Well,
that fucking door.
And as well as Best Director for James Cameron. I actually learned a fact about this the other day that I didn't realize. So Kate Winslet was nominated for Best Actress, and the actress who played the old version of Rose was nominated for Supporting Actress. And it's the only time in Oscar history that two actresses were nominated in the same year for playing the same character.
Huh.
Which I had never known before, which is I saw kind of cool, even though I don't think Titanic should have won that year. But, you know. Kevin doesn't like it because he still remembers the sweaty arm he had watching it.
That's right. Oh man, that arm was dead. If I had known, I mean, I still would have done it, but
we weren't looking at run times back then, and we wouldn't.
No. When you took a girl out to the movies, and that was the move to put the arm around.
If you knew, you would have
4 hours.
Would have paced yourself and waited till like the intermission.
That's right.
Next one, sir.
2001 indie cult hit film Donnie Darko, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, is released.
Weird movie.
Weird movie.
Good movie. Weird movie.
It's a good movie to watch around Easter.
Yeah, because of the rabbit. As a psycho rabbit. The weird performance from Patrick Swayze in that film too. Very like against type performance from him in that film. They made a sequel to it.
Did they really?
Yeah, it follows the story of the little sister, which it wasn't as good as the original, but And the last one didn't turn out bad at all.
2012, Walt Disney purchases Lucasfilm Ltd. and its rights for Star Wars and Indiana Jones franchises for $4.05 billion.
Even Salacious B. Crumb is surprised by that. What's the Kev? Were you the one that sent the thing about how like even Disney didn't want to buy the DCU? Warner Brothers is trying to sell off the DCU, and even Disney didn't want it, and they buy everything.
I think I might have sent something where it was Mickey Mouse's Thanos, and he had the gauntlet, and in the gauntlet there was
it was Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
There was Fox. There was
the MCU.
The MCU, yeah.
I think it was whatever else they bought, Tron maybe, something like that.
Pixar,
it was
Pixar.
Yeah,
it was
a bunch of like
all the stuff that they acquired.
Yeah,
really that they didn't create for themselves.
It was like all the IPs.
It was the Warner Brothers logo that had to fit into the last piece,
and it wouldn't fit. So this week they decided they're not making any more Tron films, even though that was their own IP that they destroyed. And Doctor Who has officially left Disney and is back on the BBC. They're releasing a Christmas special in 2026, I don't know what the Doctor is going to be in that special because they left off with a weird twist in the last episode. So we'll see.
I didn't have any issues with Tron Legacy. I thought that was a decent movie, halfway decent movie.
But then like Tron Ares was kind of like unnecessary.
Yeah.
And I think we're done with the Jared Leto as lead experiment.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, that was actually that was most of my movie news right there. So I don't have to do a movie news thing now.
All right.
So I think, was that it there, Mike?
That was
it.
my last.
Yeah. All right. So let's hear some beer news then.
Kevin's here. He's here for beer. He's got news. It's beer news with Kevin.
Gentlemen, I've come to the realization that if it doesn't come out of Florida, then it's coming out of Texas. Anytime you hear something that's just so incredibly stupid,
that's where the Cowboys are from. Come on, of course it's stupid.
Makes sense then.
Here out of El Paso, Texas, we have Beer Bandits Beware. El Paso police brew up a social media sting. The El Paso Police Department took to social media on Wednesday to ask for help in identifying suspects in a series of beer runs with a post police are calling brew busters. According to the police, if you recognize any of the suspects below, you are encouraged to call the hotline at Crime Stoppers at... Wait a second. The incidents are from June to October, and while most of the suspects are young, some appear as young as teenagers. Tell me that's it. That is it. That's
the whole story.
All I kept thinking about was, the year one was the Garth Brooks on BEERUN.
All I'm thinking is, boy, it's lucky thing that Kevin researches these before he adds them to the podcast.
It was a late night, and I thought that would be, a little more in depth. I was wrong. It was as in depth as Texas would make it.
And now the next article is going to be 18 pages.
You should see some of these pictures, though. Some of these look like sixth graders. Anyway,
it's not like the 70s and 80s where high schoolers look like Stockard Channing in Grease.
No. So remember a couple weeks ago we talked about beers and other objects being thrown at performers on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is one where a performer throws something off stage and now has to face the consequences of being sued. Country music singer sued after beer can thrown from stage caused a severe injury. Country music singer is dealing with a lawsuit stemming from a 2022 incident in where he allegedly threw a full can of beer at a fan while performing. According to court documents acquired by People magazine, Jamison Rogers is being sued by plaintiff Samantha Hawes, who claims she was hit by an unopened beer can thrown from the stage during the Barefoot Country Music Festival in Wildwood, New Jersey.
What do you expect? Wildwood, New Jersey.
Shocker.
Sony Music, Southern Entertainment, and Molson Coors are also listed as defendants. Sony Music, but I think that might have been because of the venue. Wasn't it the Sony something?
I think it was like this. Yeah, it's like the Sony sales.
Maybe. Yeah. Hall said the can hit violently and without warning in the head and facial area.
Yeah, in the head.
You didn't see it coming at you, and caused severe, painful, and permanent bodily injuries. Rogers, 38 from Mississippi, won the 2020 Music Row Discovery Artist of the Year award after he spent 2019 touring with megastar Luke Combs. Signed with Riverhouse Artists in Columbia, Nashville, he achieved his first charting song on the Billboard charts in 2020 with the song "Some Girls."
And now he's going to be spending most of the rest of 2025 and beginning of 2026 with CTE.
Rogers has also co-written hit songs for stars like Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, and Florida Georgia Line.
My good buddy Jason Aldean.
There you go. That is your music news, gentlemen. A little bit light. A little light today.
That
It's
was
a little
weird.
light tonight. Unexpectedly light.
I think the internet cut off the rest of that one story.
And hey, surprisingly, Mike's must try beer craft destination is short tonight as well.
Yeah, I told it to make it a short summary today.
Yeah.
I might be
usually-
able to watch The Crow tonight.
Yeah, when I ask ChatGPT to do stuff for me like that, I'm always like, can you just give me 5 sentences? Go for it.
Okay. 52 Hertz by Toppling Goliath is a 16.1 ABV American Imperial Stout, crafted from a blend of triple bourbon barrel aged Assassin and an unreleased bourbon rye stout. Aged 36 to 42 months, it offers rich aromas of vanilla, caramelized sugar, and dark chocolate fudge, with balanced flavors of oak bourbon and sweet dessert notes. Its finish is viscous yet smooth, with mild carbonation and with outstanding complexity.
I want this one. Triple
Kevin just
bourbon
said
aged
16.1. Yes.
16.1 ABV. I just wanted for the name Toppling Goliath
Well, it's 52 hertz.
by Toppling Goliath.
Toppling Goliath. Yeah,
Made with barrel aged assassin. That doesn't sound
unreleased
dangerous at all.
bourbon rye.
Yeah, unreleased rye stout.
I'm in danger.
That's right, Ralphie.
It's 3 years. Three to
Sounds
3.5
good.
years.
All righty. So we're gonna take a quick break. Yeah. All right. So this episode will be dropping literally on election day. So we decided that we would, I guess, for lack of a better term, celebrate election day by doing an election episode. And we elected to recast some politically charged films with Muppets, because nothing seemed more respectful to government politics than Muppets.
They all act like Muppets anyway.
So I had a joke that I was going to make about that, and I fucking forgot what it is now. About being Muppets. Anyway, the movies that we are going to be recasting tonight. Kevin is going to be recasting the 90s. I kind of feel like it's almost a forgotten classic at this point, man. Like, I think this is a good movie and more people need to see it.
Megan's never seen it.
Oh, she would love it. I think she
Megan's
would
never-
really like it.
I think
It's
she
a
would really
great
like
movie.
Adrian's even
So-
seen this one.
Yeah, so we're talking about Dave is the first movie we're going to be doing. Kevin will also be recasting Napoleon Dynamite tonight, which, before you ask, yes, it is an election movie. Pedro gets elected president of the school.
Yes.
Mike will be doing The American President, which I think is one of the best political movies of all time.
hmm
And Revenge of the Nerds, which is all about electing the nerds to the Greek Council. And then I will be doing The Manchurian Candidate, which involves a political plot to put somebody in the presidency.
hmm
And then I will also be doing, so I was originally going to do Election with Reese Witherspoon and Matthew Broderick, but there's not a lot of characters in that film. So I decided to go in the complete opposite direction and do a film that had too many characters. So I will be recasting the Oliver Stone classic JFK.
But don't worry, because we know Leo, and he was able to cut it down.
Yes. I
Yes.
only cut it- There's
We're
He
down
did
to
not-
7 characters with names in that film, and I cut it down to
50.
He didn't use any Muppet from Fraggle Rock,
no.
just
Mhm.
from the
I actually
Muppet.
didn't. I didn't use any. I actually, in the JFK one, I only used one Muppet that's outside of the actual Muppet cast.
And that was the Philly Fanatic, because he is
Yeah, right. I
technically
wish. No, it's Salacious B. Crumb. No, I'll tell you what it is when we get to it. You'll think it's funny. I think it's pretty funny. So, Kev, we'll start with you, and we'll start with Dave.
Okay. Quick recap for some of our listeners who also, like my wife, had never watched Dave. The movie Dave is about a president who's, not of the greatest way, much like many politicians. who, through an incident, is incapacitated, and and his political advisors, played by Frank Langella and I can't think of the other guy's name right now.
He's like a character actor you see in a million things. I don't know his name.
Yeah. I don't even have it up here. I'm going to see if I can keep it at the ready so I can make reference to the
Salacious B. Crumb
Kevin Dunn.
guys. He has to go
Kevin
sleep.
Dunn. Anyway, so the president's incapacitated. His political advisors are against putting the VP in charge because it won't pass their agenda. They won't be able to get what they want done. So instead, they find a part-time actor who's kind of like the doppelganger. The president is played by Kevin Kline. Okay. In the movie, President is played by Kevin Kline as well as his doppelganger, Dave. Okay. He's married to Sigourney Weaver, who plays Ellen Mitchell, his first lady, but also not his biggest fan. They are at odds. We have Bob Alexander, who is kind of his chief of staff, played by Frank Langella. We have Alan Reed, who's another part of his cabinet, played by Kevin Dunn. There is his security advisor, or his head of security, played by Ving Rhames.
I
The
like
vice
his character in
president.
the film.
Yeah, his vice president is played by Ben Kingsley, who you don't really see much of in the movie. Dave's actual profession is a manager of a temp agency. So he has friends, in the field, and he has one who is a CPA, played by Charles Grodin, and his secretary or staff member is Alice, played by Faith Prince, who was big in the 90s, if you remember. And those are the characters I chose to replace. Okay. Well, all but one of them. So playing the part of Dave and the president, and I'm really pat myself on the back for this one. Naturally, Kermit will play Dave, the the temp agency worker who's the doppelganger. Okay. But the actual president is played by Constantine from Muppets Most Wanted, which is a Kermit evil Kermit with the mole, And I thought that really kind of worked.
That's funny. Yeah, that's really funny.
That's good. It's a good one.
That's a good one. That is a really good one.
Filling the role of his wife would naturally fall to Miss Piggy. I felt that was a good
Which
choice.
would make that scene where she sees a schlong in the shower a little funnier.
The one human actor I wanted to play his original part was Frank Langella, because I feel his interaction with Muppets is just going to be impressive.
It could go one of two ways. It could either be Michael Caine acting as if he was on screen with humans, or Tim Curry acting like he was on the screen with Muppets.
The other cabinet member, the other part of his, officials, the Alan Reed character would be Sam the Eagle.
Okay.
I think that kind of fits, The security officer, played by Ving Rhames, I have played by Sweetums.
That makes sense.
The vice president role, the Ben Kingsley role, which again you don't see much of until almost halfway through the movie, is played by Gonzo.
Oh, not Deadly?
The CPA, the Charles Grodin character, is played by Fozzie Bear.
I don't know if I want Fozzie doing my books.
I
would have said Scooter.
Well, okay. So I told you guys earlier that I didn't reuse any characters between the two movies.
Yeah.
So Scooter does make a comeback. Is used later. And then the one played by Faith Prince, the one who runs his temp office, is Janice.
Okay.
Okay.
Was that Mike?
I said totally.
All right, that was pretty good. I really do like the Kermit, evil Kermit
Yes,
casting there.
when I was thinking
really
about that, I was
funny.
like, "Oh, wait a second. Yes, I'm going to use it because
Because they would have to put the mole on his face. It would kind of be like the scene in History of the World where they're trying to make him look like the king, and they're putting Dave was a
Or
good
wasn't
film.
wasn't that a throwback joke in Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Yeah,
Prince
it was a
John
really-
had
Prince John
the
had the
mole
mole
kept
moving.
moving. I have
Um,
a mole.
Dave is a film that's almost a film that time forgot, I think,
Mm.
and a really good underrated comedy that I think more people need to see. It's really really good movie, and it's kind of like a modern day like Prince and Pauper kind of thing because
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
but it's really good, and Kevin Kline's such a likable actor. You know, he's able to make it work.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that brings us to one that's a little more serious. Does have some comedic moments in it, but it's a much more serious film. But I really like this film, The American President, and Mike will be taking this one for us.
And I'll give you the short synopsis off of IMDb for this.
Mhm.
Andrew Shepard is approaching the end of his first term as president of the United States. He's a widower with a young daughter and has is proved to be a popular with the public. His election seems assured until he meets Sidney Ellen Wade, a paid political activist working for an environmental lobby group. He immediately smitten with her, and after several amusing attempts, they finally manage to go on a date, which happens to be a state dinner for the visiting president of France. His relationship with Wade opens the door for his prime political opponent, Senator Bob Rumson, to launch an attack on the president's character, something he could not do in the previous election, as Shepard's wife had only recently died. So, with that,
I know who I would cast as Rumson, but I'm looking curious to see what you do.
so of course, President Andrew Shepard was played by Michael Douglas in the film, and of course, it went to Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to cast Kermit as the lead in most of these films. So,
Mhm.
And because like I said, I had some help with this. There's a little tagline for like each character. This one says, "I am just simple. I'm just a simple frog trying to run a complex country." Playing the love interest would be Sidney Allen Wade, was Annette Bening, which is now being played by Miss Piggy. Of course, it has to be Piggy. Her little tagline is, "Ma will save the planet and the romance, Kermit dear." Now we're gonna move on to the funny stuff. Louis Rothschild, played by Michael J. Fox, is going to be played by Gonzo the Great. His little
he's
tag
another one. He's another one I might have thrown Scooter into for that too.
Yeah, but this one, well, I love this tagline they gave to him. "Mr. President, if we sign the bill while I'm launched from a cannon, think of the symbolism."
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Because he also that energy that Michael J. Fox would have.
Yeah, because Michael J. Fox is so like frantic in the film.
Yeah. And then we're gonna go to AJ McInerney. Oh, Jesus.
Was it like McInerney or something like that?
McInerney, which is Martin Sheen, which is the
Chief of staff. Yeah.
which is gonna play Bob Fosse there.
Of course.
Mr. President, Congress is in recess. Waka waka. And then I got Bob Rumson, Richard Dreyfuss's character. This one is a little off kilter because I went with two. It is Statler and Waldorf.
Well, one could be like the one running for president, the other one could be his vice president.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say back and forth. Like
Yeah.
they filibuster, throw insults from the Senate floor, and
I was thinking Deadly for that one,
I thought about
Well-
that too, but
or like Sam Eagle because he's so proper.
and some of the ones that I worked with, they wanted Sam Eagle as the chief of staff. I'm like, this is not right.
No,
Yeah,
no.
for this
You
one,
need,
but I thought
you
that
need
was-
somebody high energy for that.
Yeah. So from there we go to Lucy Shepard, The President's Daughter, which we did a gender change to Robin the Frog.
Of course, yeah.
The pure-hearted conscience of the film, Robin gently reminds Kermit that truly presidential kindness, humility, and bedtime stories about civic duty.
You could throw a twist in there too, and have the President's Daughter being the only character played by a human.
Right. There's a few more that I got here. I thought it's funny. The Secret Service agents, Animal and Dr. Teeth. Animal one is stop, drop, rock. Dr. Teeth provides surprising soulful acoustics cover of "We the People" for the state dinner. The political advisors would be Honeydew and Beaker. The White House press corps, Wizard of the Rat. With cameos from Sam Eagle as the stern White House communications director who keeps insisting everyone show proper American dignity. And the Swedish chef, White House chef.
Yeah. Of course.
And the movie tagline, in the White House, love means never having to say waka waka.
Did you mention that this was a Aaron Sorkin screenplay?
No, I did not. It is Aaron Sorkin. Which
Aaron Sorkin did The West Wing, yeah.
Yeah, so you can tell by you can tell by dialogue when it's an.
You can tell by dialogue and the characters, and that's why I bring it up, is because you mentioned the press secretary, you mentioned his chief of staff, you mentioned the communications directors, and I'm thinking in my head, like I'm playing, rewatching the movie in my head, and then putting your characters in, and then putting that up against like The West Wing to see how much the characters from American President kind of were the same reflection.
Like
in
the
West
Martin
Wing.
Sheen character is almost like the VP from American President becoming president in West Wing,
Exactly.
I was confusing characters too. Like I'm sitting here, I kept waiting for the Allison Janney
for a second.
Like, no, wait, that's West Wing.
However, the one that played the press secretary, I think, wasn't that the black woman with the, or am I mistaken? The one that interacts with Michael J. Fox often in the movie.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I thought she was the Allison Janney character, but she ends up showing up in West Wing as a part of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, I think.
Yeah, it was Anna Devery Smith.
Yeah, it's like that's a Sorkin thing too. Kind of bring back cast the characters that he works with all the time. All right, that was pretty good, Mike. So my first one, I'm going to switch it up here. My first one, I'm going to do the Manchurian Candidate. Now, this is the original 1960s version of the film, not the remake that came out in the early 2000s. This is the one with Frank Sinatra, because it's the one that I've seen that I'm most familiar with. Manchurian Candidate is about a group of soldiers who, during the Korean War, were captured and brainwashed in order to play this long game in a plot to assassinate a political candidate in order to get a different candidate seated as president. It was all like a communist plot, basically, to try to take over the American government. Frank Sinatra was one of the soldiers, and as his fellow soldiers start like reawakening from their brainwashing, they're all being mysteriously assassinated, and he's brought in to investigate. And we find out that the assassin is also one of the brainwashed soldiers and the son of the politician's wife that is trying to get him in. Like, you find out his mother is the one behind the whole plot, and his mother is played by Angela Lansbury. So it's a complicated political thriller, but it was kind of fun. So I went with. I don't have as many characters as this I do with JFK, thankfully. Not as many characters. So Major Bennett Marco, who's played by Frank Sinatra in the first film, in the original film, is of course Kermit the Frog, because he has to be. He is the moral center of the story, trying to uncover the truth behind the brainwashing conspiracy while trying to maintain his sanity and his relationship with his wife, played by Miss Piggy. His investigative monologues would inevitably turn into musical numbers about responsibility and amphibian integrity. Raymond Shaw, who is the son of the character that's trying to, take over the the country.
Senator. Yeah.
Yeah, he's played by Lawrence Harvey in the original film. That's going to be Gonzo.
Okay.
Who else can play a tragic, misunderstood weirdo haunted by psychological manipulation? His blend of vulnerability and eccentricity fits the tortured, hypnotized veteran perfectly. Eleanor Iselin, who is Raymond Shaw's mother, she's the one behind the communist plot to take over the country. Of course, that's Miss Piggy. Commanding, manipulative, dramatic. Piggy's turn as the domineering political matriarch would be Oscar-worthy. Every scene ends with a karate chop and the line, "You will do as I say." She has a dual role here because she's going to play Kermit's wife as well. Senator John Iselin, who is the guy that they're trying to put into the seat as the new American president. That'll be Sam Eagle, a patriotic blowhard who parrots his rhetoric that is being fed to him by his wife, played by
Not Sam Eagle.
yeah, Sam Eagle. And then there's a few like side characters. These are some of the other soldiers who were brainwashed. One of them will be played by Fozzie Bear. Another one will be played by Scooter. So like various Muppets filling in the rest of the roles. The Gonzo character, who was Lawrence Harvey in the original, the brainwashed assassin, he falls in love with this young girl in the film, and I thought it'd be nice to have his girlfriend played by Camilla the Chicken.
Had to be.
In the film, she was played by Janet Leigh, so you see the resemblance.
Yes.
Isn't Janet Leigh in The Birds?
Yes, Janet Leigh.
See the connection?
Janet Leigh was also in Psycho. Gonzo's beloved Camilla takes on the romantic role. Her cryptic clucks provide emotional grounding. And then there is one other character. There is the evil scientist in Korea who brainwashes them. His name is Dr. Yen Lo. Will be played by the Swedish chef. Because I think it's a good twist to have that the chef's gibberish be the catalyst for their brainwashing. So that is my Manchurian Candidate recasting. That one was short. Wait till we get to JFK. Now for some bizarre casting here, because the next one is Kevin's, which is Napoleon Dynamite. I am really, really curious about this one.
It was a challenge, I'll say. You had mentioned using Scooter in Dave for one of the roles. I thought Scooter deserved a starring role in something.
Okay.
So I positioned him as Napoleon.
Interesting.
I would maybe do his hair a little more like Napoleon for this.
I was actually thinking him for Kip, the brother.
Okay.
But he makes sense as Napoleon too.
I think he works better as Napoleon. When I get to Kip, I'm going to explain my rationale for Kip in just a minute. We know that Napoleon hangs out with Pedro, who is trying to get elected to the school government, student government. I have this going to Pepe the King Prawn.
I was like, it has to be a Spanish character. Who's it going to be? Pepe. It makes so much sense.
I love it.
That makes so much sense.
Vote for me, okay?
Yeah.
We know that Kip and Napoleon are staying, or have a relative staying with them while their grandmother is out. I could not quite find the right fit, so I think I found the right fits. It is Uncle Rico and Suave, played by Waldorf and Statler.
So Uncles Rico and Suave.
Uncles Rico and Suave.
That's funny.
I could see them just taking jabs at Scooter, for what he's doing. Kip, I think, is going to be played by Dr. Bunsen Honeydew because of the cadence in his voice, as he talks, the same way Kip had that sound.
Napoleon, I'm training to be a cage fighter.
Right. And he could be communicating with Honeydew and come on, Kev. Beaker.
What if Beaker was Napoleon and Honeydew was Kip? And then,
For the role of Deb, I'm keeping that human with Tina Majorino.
I'm bringing her back.
Bringing her back.
Bring her
Bringing her
back,
back.
yeah.
You know, I see the relationship between her and
Mhm.
Scooter being sweet one, you know, as she tries to get him to do glamour shots. The cage fighter, not the cage fighter, the Taekwondo director.
It's Rex Kwando.
Rex Kwando is being played by Dr. Teeth.
That's funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. You get to go home every night married.
And then Grandma was the only other character I could think that had a semi, prominent role, and that's being played by Fozzie's mom. Watch out for the icy patch.
I was thinking now the popular girl at school played by Haley Duff. That would be like Miss Piggy,
Mm-hmm.
and then Kermit could play the her douchey boyfriend.
That could work. I did try to keep I did try to avoid reusing the same
Yeah,
Muppets though.
I do like how it's like kind of like a let's do a film that's not all Kermit centric.
right.
Yeah, give Scooter his run. That's funny, man. I like the honeydew as Kip.
Mm.
I love Dr. Teeth as Rex Kwando. That's really funny. No, that was pretty good. That was definitely a difficult one to cast a little bit. So in another turn for the surreal, Mike has Revenge of the Nerds, a movie that cannot be made today.
Oh no.
No, even with Muppets.
Yeah, I don't even think the Muppets could do this.
Mm.
Okay, so we're gonna start off Revenge of the Nerds, the Muppet edition, with Louis Skolnick being Kermit the Frog, the level-headed, heartfelt leader of the nerds, constantly trying to hold the group together while surrounded by absolute chaos. It ain't easy being geeky. Follow that up with Gilbert Lowe, Fozzie Bear, Kermit's best friend and Lois sidekick, forever supportive, always punning. We're going to turn this frat house into a smart house. Waka waka. Booger Dodson, Animal.
Makes a lot of sense.
Loud, messy, walking biology experiment. Can't remember if he's part of the band or the frat. Revenge, party. Lamar, Latrell.
Oh my God, who is the gay one?
Gonzo the Great. Proudly flamboyant, fearless, and weird. His athletic performance defy both gravity and reason. No one throws a javelin like I throw a javelin, upside down, on fire, and with meaning. Takahashi Toshihiro is Scooter.
Okay.
The polite, tech-savvy exchange student who builds all the nerds' gadgets and keeping things running on schedule. Guys, the robot's overheating again. Poindexter. Can you guess who's Poindexter?
We already used Scooter. Swedish
I
Chef.
went with Beaker.
Beaker. Okay, yeah.
Meep,
Walking into things all the time.
The accident-prone genius communicates exclusively with meeps, often while on fire or covered in chemical foam. Stan Gable, the antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Sam the Eagle, the self-righteous, flag-waving jock, believes nerds are an affront to decency. This is an un-American display of intelligence.
Is Ogre then Sweetums?
Oh, of course. Coach Harris, Statler
As the coach?
is the coach.
Well, you could do both of them then. You could have like two coaches, that's Statler and Wardolph. That would be
But Wardolph ended up being the dean.
Okay. Okay, yeah, because I forgot about the Dean character.
Betty Childs is Piggy. She's the kid's queen. Starts as the alpha beta sweetheart, but now she's in love with Kermit. Blah blah blah. She dishes the jocks with a karate chop flourish. Hiya, don't mess with my Kermit. Ogre Sweetums. There's no doubt. Ogre had to be Sweetums.
Yeah, he's the biggest. He's the biggest one.
Mhm.
Who was the head of Lambda Lambda Lambda?
Coming to that now. U.N. Jefferson. Dr. Teeth. And the last one I have on here is the Omega Mu sorority.
Mhm.
Janice and the Electric Gems entourage. A couple keynotes, tones of keynotes. The opening is the nerds move into the decrepit dorm that looks suspiciously like Muppets Theater's basement. Scooter builds gadgets. Fozzie provides comic relief, and Kermit delivers a heartfelt speech about inclusion and friendship. There we go. That's what I got.
Good. I mean, Sweetums is probably the most obvious ogre.
Yeah.
I would love to see how the Muppets handle scenes like Poindexter getting a boner, everything Booger does, and the scene where what's his name goes down on the cheerleader girl in the moon room,
Hell, wait till
or
you
the
see him.
panty raid.
Wait till you see him in Revenge of the Nerds 2.
Yeah. Wait, see now. I want to see the panty raid. How did the Muppets handle that one? All right, that's a funny one, Revenge of the Nerds. So then my last one is JFK, a movie.
Everybody get comfortable.
Yeah, a movie with an amazingly large cast of characters. Now I forgot to say this at the beginning. What you usually will sometimes do is leave like one or two like human characters, because that's kind of a trope in these Muppet films. You always have like a human character here or there. So I do have one in my cast as well. JFK, if you've never seen it, is an Oliver Stone conspiracy film about who killed JFK. Kevin Costner's in it as a Louisiana lawyer investigating it and trying to pin the blame on a group of men who may or may not have hired Lee Harvey Oswald to do the assassination and all the craziness that ensues. So here is my Muppet recast of JFK. The main character, Jim Garrison, the lawyer, played by Kevin Costner, will of course be played by Kermit the Frog, the ultimate straight man in a world of felt-covered madness. Liz Garrison, who's played by Sissy Spacek in the original film, will be played by Miss Piggy, of course, fed up with Kermit's obsession with trying to figure out who killed JFK. Then there's the antagonist of the film, if you want to call them that, David Ferry, who was played by Joe Pesci. That will, of course, be played by Gonzo, because they are both paranoid, eccentric characters. Clay Shaw, the one that he is trying to pin the assassination on, who's played by Tommy Lee Jones in the film, that will be Pepe the Prawn, because he is flamboyant, mysterious, and oozing charisma. Jack Ruby, the man who kills Lee Harvey Oswald, played by Brian Doyle Murray in the JFK, will be played by Rizzo the Rat, because why not have Rizzo the Rat be the guy that shoots another guy on TV? Mr. X, who's the informant, played by Donald Sutherland in the film, will be Sam the Eagle, because he's serious, stoic, and overly patriotic. Lee Harvey Oswald, played by Gary Oldman. Anybody want to take a guess at this one? Who the ultimate patsy is?
Who was the one that threw the fish?
I don't remember the character's name, but it's not him.
Ultimate Patsy, Robin the Frog.
No.
Bean Bunny. He is the ultimate Patsy. Everything.
Walter.
No, I went with, for Lee Harvey Oswald, Beaker.
Poor Beaker.
So picture that scene in your mind. It's Beaker being taken out of the police station, and Rizzo the Rat runs up and shoots him. I am so excited about this one. Now, this is one of the cameos that I could have just like left it go, but I was like, I had to do this one. Dean Andrews, who was played by John Candy in the film, a scene that I've talked about plenty of times before, because I love how really well acted the scene is, how great John Candy is, playing this like sleazy lawyer from Louisiana with the like Creole accent and all that. And I'm like, nobody else could play this role if not for Dr. Teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now dig this, cat. You got yourself a real deep groove in that old assassination thing, yeah. But I ain't saying nothing, see, because squares don't dig conspiracies. You trip over them, baby. The jury members in the trial will be random characters, particularly Waldorf and Statler, so that they can scream things from the jury box, like, "How long's this trial been going on for?" Well, since I think since Lincoln was assassinated.
I head
And then
back and to the left. Well, my back hurt and I'm about to leave.
yeah, that's even better. And then I have a few other like little supporting staff. So Jim Garrison's assistant district attorneys, who were played by Michael Rooker in the film, and a couple other actors, will be Fozzie Bear, Ralph, Scooter, and Bunsen, because he has like a team of 4. Walter will be playing the role of JFK in the Zapruder film.
Mm-hmm.
He will be the back and to the left. Janice will be the court stenographer. Like, whoa, this testimony is super deep, man.
Yeah.
The courtroom bailiff, of course, is Animal. The only human character I'm keeping the same is the racist prisoner that he interviews in the film, William O'Keefe, who's played by Kevin Bacon. I will be bringing Kevin Bacon back for that role. And then in a very special cameo as the man behind the Zapruder film, Mr. Zapruder, the guy who films the assassination, Big Bird.
Oliver Stone.
Big Bird, because he's tall enough to see over the grassy knoll. And that, my friends, is my JFK recast.
Wow.
See, it wasn't that bad, Kev.
No, it wasn't as painful as I thought it was going to be.
Let me tell you something, man. I was looking at the cast. Jack Lemmon's in it. Walter Matthau's in it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember. Like, there's so many people in that freaking movie, and I'm like, I can't do everybody. So I just kind of stuck to, like, the ones that really stand out to me in the film. So
When you mentioned the jury box, I was like, oh my God, he did all the jury.
that's why I said random Muppets, including Waldorf and Statler. Mike, do you have any beer history or trivia for us, Stephen?
I guess a beer history. It's kind of 3 segments, so this is an overall October beer history.
Mhm.
Last call from Marzan, a seasonal brewing retrospective, Bavarian brewing laws and the Marzan legacy. In 1539, Bavarian brewers faced a strict seasonal cutoff. No brewing between April 23rd and September 29th. The reason? Warm weather spreads spoilage from wild yeast and bacteria. Thus, Marzan, March beer, was brewed strong and stored cool to last through the summer. By October, it was time to finish the final keg before new brewing season began. This aged amber lager becomes synonymous with autumnal indulgence. The origins of Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest wasn't originally about beer. It was a royal wedding bash. In October 1810, Prince Ludwig of Bavaria married Princess Therese. The people of Munich were invited to celebrate. The party was such a hit it became an annual tradition. Eventually, it shifted to mid-September for better weather, but the final weekend still lands in October, echoing the old brewing calendar. Harvest ales and fresh hopped IPAs. Fall Brewers Bounty. Hops and grains are first harvested, making it the ideal time for harvest ales and wet hopped IPAs. These beers capture the fleeting vibrance of season, earthy, floral, and bold. Modern craft breweries embrace this window to release limited batches that celebrate freshness and territory. Whatever, I can't even see it now.
All right.
Go ahead.
We have a cinema quote of the week.
That pesky acting career has always gotten in the way of me doing something with music. Mike Chiklis, known as The Thing, or the guy from
Vic Mackey of the Shield.
Shield.
Or the Commish.
Commish.
Yeah.
There's plenty of actors who have had music careers. What's stopping him?
Well, you've seen those actors that have had music careers and they're not very
Exactly. Who
successful.
cares? They try it, they fail, and then they go back to acting.
Russell Crowe,
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon, Jared
Keanu
Leto. Actually, Jared Leto
Reeves.
started in music. Oh no, I guess he started in acting and then
Keanu Reeves,
Keanu Reeves.
Haley Steinfeld. They've all tried it. Even Scarlett Johansson had a short music career.
Mm-hmm.
Brie Larson started as a pop singer.
Did you know? Fun fact.
Yeah.
I saw. There's a song on Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I want to say it's called Black Sheep. Okay,
Yeah, it's Black Sheep by Metric.
By Metric, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the movie, she lip syncs. No, does she lip sync?
She's actually singing the song.
She uses the song, but it was a very good version of the song. And they never put it out. Not on the soundtrack. Not available. It wasn't available until like the re-release of Scott Pilgrim versus the World on like Blu-ray or something.
It is available on Spotify because I have it on one of my rock playlists because I like the Brie Larson version better than the Metric version.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Black Sheep. It's a good song.
It is a good song.
Well, Kev, how was the hallway drink?
Oh, it was delicious, gentlemen. You should try it the next time we're around together. I actually should have given you guys one each of the hallway and the apple cider donut.
Right.
Once when you were there on Saturday.
I was going to try out the hallway one,
Mm-hmm.
but you were out of the room, and I called you and I said, "Hey, can I try the hallway?" And you didn't answer back. I'm like, "I'm not opening it up."
Are you sure I hadn't left the house? Because you were there for a bit by yourself, and you may
I
not
think
have
you
known.
had gone up to like check on Megan with the boy or something like that.
Oh,
Or
okay.
you were taking a shit or something. I don't know. You were out of the room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those are both very probable instances. Yeah.
Mike, how was the Bayman or whatever it was you drank?
The Cayman Jack. It was good.
Mm-hmm. Good. My drink was good. Bourbon, maple syrup, and bitters. A pretty simple drink to make, but it was sweet and a little bit sour and was good. It was called the fucking president or something. Founding Father was the name of the drink. All right. Thank you for joining us tonight for episode 215, The Great Muppet Election. We hope you enjoyed listening to this episode as much as we enjoyed recording it for you. Don't forget to send us an email at filmsandfermentation@gmail.com or visit linktree.com/filmsandfermentation. Find all of our social media podcast links. You can watch us on the Roku on the Pod Nation Media Network. You can watch us on YouTube and Rumble, or you can just listen to us on our audio platforms, or you support us by going to Patreon. You can text us at 904-867-4466. Make sure you join us next time around at the corner between Pickled and Fermented. The next episode we release is going to be a Veterans Day special because it'll be coming out around the week of Veterans Day. And we're going to be looking at military in film and comparing movies that do the military right versus movies that don't do the military justice at all.
Starship Troopers.
That does the Gestapo, right?
You mean Stripes? They did the military.
Yeah, I was thinking Platoon versus Major Pain. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, I'm Leo.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mike.
This has been the Films and Fermentation podcast. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Films and fermentation, movies and inebriation with films and fermentation, comedy mixed with tasty libation. Films and fermentation with Leo, Batman, and Mike.
And fade to black. See you guys later.